Hello and welcome to episode 36 of Soccercraft. In the last episode, we finished up the main decorations of the Wangshitang library, and in this episode, we're going to be prepping to upgrade the world to the 1.17 update. And in the last episode, we also finished up this fox farm to allow the foxes into here. So let's just let a few of them out so they can start roaming around a little bit more. Looks like they're all snoozing. But as you can see, when we come into these areas, the foxes have started spreading out, and it seems like they are having a little bit of a meeting off in that corner. But with that being said, I'm starting to get really eager to upgrade my world to 1.17, but there's a few things that I have to do before then. And those things are mainly just prep the world by deleting a lot of old chunks. I'm going to be using an application called MCA Selector, and we're going to use that to figure out which chunks that we've used the most in our world and we spent the most time in, and we're just going to delete a lot of the unused chunks and hope that that will allow for the 1.17 features to spawn in those areas. So now I'm going to go hop over into the MCA computer program and I'll show you guys how that works. So now we're over on my PC, and over here we have my Minecraft saves folder, and the first thing that I do before I do anything with MCA Selector is I take my world, I copy it, I move it over to my backup folder. This is going to make sure that if anything goes wrong, you're going to be able to get your world back, and whenever you're using MCA Selector, never work out of the Minecraft actual saves folder, in my opinion. Now I'm going to wait for this to copy over and we'll hop into MCA Selector. Alright, now that that's copied over here, I'm just going to rename this to MCA Test so that we can find it easily. And we'll hop into the MCA Selector program, go up to the top corner, File, Open World, and at this point you want to navigate to where you saved your backups so we're not working off the actual world that we're working on. So we're going to go to this MCA test, open this up and press select folder. Now it's going to give you a lot of options. The first one is going to be your overworld. I believe that this one is the end and this one will be the nether. So we're going to be looking at the overworld today. And it's going to slowly load up my world and we're going to be able to see where things are in the world. So like for example, this is my world spawn with my 3 iron farms, my squid farm, and my witch farm. And you're able to zoom out and see absolutely everywhere you've traveled in your world. And once it's all loaded up, you're able to see everywhere you've gone in your world. So you can see that I've gone out quite the distance out this way, and this is definitely something we're going to be looking at getting rid of today. But the best way to figure out the places that you have lived in your world, first of all, you can kind of remember, here's Kyoshi Island, and there's a few other places, but if you don't quite remember that, you want to go up to Tools, go to Filter Chunks, and we can get rid of all the default filters, and I'm going to press plus in this top corner here. So now I'm going to filter this by inhabited time, I'm going to say 45 minutes. So this is going to tell us anywhere that we've spent less than 45 minutes of time. It should, oops, I think that has to be a lowercase m, yes. And now if I click this, it will start calculating everywhere we've been for less than 45 minutes, and it will mark those areas on this map. So now that MCA Selector has marked your map, you're able to zoom in to all of the places that aren't highlighted in orange and see if this is your world, and at least the places that you inhabit in your world. So like I said, here's all my starter bases, here's Kyoshi Island, and if we zoom out, there's a few other places. I've got another portal here for something. This is where I mine my mesa, and this is all of our most recent projects with the Misty Palms Oasis and Wangshitang's library. So now, theoretically, at this point, you should just need to go up to selection and press delete selected chunks. But I've had some issues with that in the past, so what I actually like to do is now that I've gone through and I see everywhere that is selected, I actually prefer to select everything manually. So I'm going to quickly, by dragging my mouse over here, deselect everything, and then come back and definitely select all the parts that we want to get rid of. So I'm going to be getting rid of this whole extension chunk over here. And over here, I want to pay attention to make sure I'm not getting rid of too much stuff. We do not want to get rid of any of this stuff because I want to keep the Mushroom Island and the Guardian Farm. And what else can we get rid of? And now I have all of the areas of my map that I want to keep marked out. So for example, we've got, once again, the Guardian Farm stuff down here where I normally mine my desert. I don't want to reset that. And my main builds here, here, and up here. And this should mean that once we go selection, delete selected chunks, it's going to tell you how many chunks you're going to delete from the world. And then it should mean that the rest of these spots will render for 1.17 and 1.18. And now that everything's been deleted, you can see the only areas that this world will have loaded in 1.16 is the areas that I want to have loaded. So now if I take this, put it back into my world save folder and load it up back in Minecraft, it should mean that we can load a bunch of new 1.17 terrain nice and close to world spawn. Alright, so here we are back in Minecraft. As you can see, it is 1.17 and Optifine just came out, so it says that it is modded. Now, I'm not playing with mods, but that's what it tells us. So if we look here, we can see that this second Let's Play series is the MCA test one, so this is what we're going to use to update to 1.17. So let's load this world up and see if we can find some of the new generation. Alright, so we spawned in at Wangshitang's library, and if I fly up out of here, let's see, which direction do I need to head? I should only have to head in this direction a short while before I can find something that makes me know that it is giving us 1.17 generation nearby. Let's see what we can find. Alright, so coming over here I see a ravine, and that's probably the best spot to see if we can find some of the new ores. So let me land here, and we can see that we have the new coal and ore generation, but what I'm looking for, oh cool, I wasn't expecting to find deep slate. So this definitely proves to me that this, this isn't deep slate, this is, what is this called again? I'm still really not used to the new dripstone. Okay, well, we found some dripstone, so this is, I'm sorry, Mr. Cow, but this is 1.17 finally. So this is pretty awesome. I'm going to head back, go find a bed, get some sleep, and then we can properly explore the 1.17 update together. Alright, so with it being daytime, we can head out and look for all of the cool 1.17 stuff. Now, there is a lot of things in 1.17, but there are certain things that I'm a lot more excited about than others. Some of those things include, I'm really excited about the tinted glass, the deep slate blocks, and finding amethysts, and the, I don't know, I really like a lot of the blocks that we're getting from this. I know it was supposed to be the caves and cliffs update, and we didn't get either of those, but I'm gonna just, look on the positive side. We got new Minecraft content, and it is going to be fun to play. So let's see if we can find some of the axolotls. I definitely need to find some copper somewhere around here, hopefully soon. And yeah, let's find all of the fun new stuff. So here we're coming up to the first piece of copper of the world, and as you can see, the copper still spawns up above the ground, so you're still able to find it pretty easily. But actually, shoot, I wish I came with a fortune pickaxe. I'm really not used to using anything other than Silk Touch, and I've learned that a lot of the 1.17 blocks prefer when you don't use Silk Touch, like Deep Slate, for example. And when I say you need a fortune pickaxe in order to be able to fully use the deep slate, that is because when you use Silk Touch, you pick up regular deep slate, which you're not able to turn into anything else. But if you use a pickaxe with fortune on it, you're going to pick up cobbled deep slate, and that's what you're going to be able to turn into all of the other variants of deep slate. Alright, let me specify. It doesn't need to be a fortune pickaxe, it just needs to be a pickaxe that doesn't have Silk Touch on it. And another part of the update that I find absolutely fascinating is the ability to use fortune on iron and get more than one piece of iron from it. This kind of makes it feel like you don't need iron farms as much anymore in your world, but I'm still going to be using my iron farm a whole lot, I'm sure. Alright, now that I've taken a little bit of time to get acquainted with the deep slate and some of the stuff you can find underground, what I'm really curious about next is to see if MCA Selector worked and it made these chunks that we have definitely loaded up before contain some new stuff. So I've been told that it is quite easy to find an amethyst cluster in the ocean just by flying around. So I'm going to see if I can find one of those in this area. And that will once and for all prove to me that MCA Selector works. Alright, and flying around with night vision on makes this even easier. I can see one just down here, and let's see if we can find a little bit of the... Perfect, that's exactly what we're looking for. I want to get some of these amethyst crystals, and you have to be careful when entering these because it's usually really dark on the inside, and it usually has a mob or two. So now whenever you are in one of these amethyst crystals and you see a block that looks like this, that looks like it's partially cracked, you do not want to break that block, like this block either. Because these are going to be the blocks that the crystals are able to spawn on. So here, let me actually block off this and we'll start looking through here without having to worry about all the water. Okay, let's see if we can get inside. Alright, so far I don't see any mobs inside, which is good. Let's see if we can make our way down there safely. Okay, so this is perfect. Actually, it looks like a nice little safe little area for us to dig out. So this is our amethyst cluster. You can see that, like I said, the things with the X's that look like they're crossed out on them are the things that are actually going to spawn in these crystals. And you need a fortune pickaxe again in order to get the shards from these crystals. The shards, where did that go? Oh, I think you need them to grow up a little bit more in order for them to turn to shards. So let's try this one. Alright, yeah, that's what I thought. So we got 4 amethyst shards from that. We're also able to silk touch these up. But in order to make this area run as efficiently as possible, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of these amethyst blocks so that the crystals can spawn on all 6 sides of these blocks. Alright, and this is what the amethyst cluster is going to look like once all of the amethyst blocks are out of place. As you can see, this allows the blocks to be able to spawn these shards on all 4 sides by at least giving them the air room to be able to breathe, I guess is the best way to put it. So I'm going to do that for the remaining ones. And I actually need to say, these other 2 types of blocks, the calcite and the smooth basalt, are also really fantastic looking blocks. And I was saying that you're able to silk touch these shards, and yes, you are able to do that. So I can grab this up, move it, and use it as decoration anywhere I see fit. And I think that's really cool. But right now, I think everyone's a little bit more interested in turning it into tinted glass or one of the telescopes. So I'm going to just chill here for a bit, collect a little bit of shards, and then we can look at some of the other features of 1.17. And that amethyst crystal collecting session was very successful. I got a ton of calcite because I really like it, and I got at least a stack of shards. I'm really wanting to turn this into tinted glass at some point, but let's continue looking at some of the other features of 1.17 first. Now the next thing that I really want to find out there is the glow squid and an axolotl. So before I head out, I need to make sure I have some water buckets so I can catch some of the axolotls, and then we can head right out. So while we're on our search for glow squids and axolotls, I'm going to take advantage of the night vision effect because it makes it really easy to be able to see underwater. And I'm going to put on hitboxes so I can see the location of everything in the water. So I'm going to fly around for a bit and see what I can find. And I've found the first axolotl of my world. He's around these squids somewhere. Here he is. Okay, So you need to have a bucket filled with water rather than just a regular water bucket in order to capture one of these axolotls. But as soon as you do, you will get the advancement, the cutest predator, and this axolotl will be tamed, which means he is your friend and he will attack whatever you attack. So let's see if I can get him to help me attack one of these squids. Okay, so this is my first time using an axolotl, so it turns out you cannot just place them down anywhere in the water. I guess it has to be down on the floor, but alright, let's see. If I punch this fish, will he go after it? Okay, cool. We've got 2 axolotl friends. I'm not sure how to get them to attack with you yet. I guess I'm going to have to still do a little bit of testing on that part, but I'm sure we'll figure it out soon enough. Let's see if we can go find a glow squid now. And I don't actually imagine finding a glow squid should be too difficult, you know, given the sense that they're supposed to glow, but I haven't seemed to be able to find one yet, so I'll bring you guys back when I do find them. Okay, and the first glow squid. Alright, there's a lot of firsts in today's episode. Oh, did these axolotls... Alright, I think I found where all the axolotls are, but there was a glow squid around here. Oh no. You guys couldn't have let me see the glow squids? Okay, let's at least grab the glow ink that's floating around here, and... You know what? Glow squids, I think they have to spawn in darkness, so maybe coming down into one of these water caves will give me a better chance of finding them. Ooh, this isn't bad at all. And back on the hunt for the glow squid after grabbing a few of those axolotls. Let's see what we can find. Regular squids and... Alright, nothing fun yet. Alright, I searched all over for glow squid, and when I'm coming back to my base, this is where I find them. So, now the glow squid is kind of a controversial add-on to this update because it was part of the mob vote, and that's what I want to ask you guys. Which mob did you vote for in the mob vote? Because I'll admit it, I voted for the glow squid. I'm really happy that this guy's in here, and looks so cool having the light follow him around with Optifine on. Oh, let's turn off hitboxes. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's collect up a little bit of glow squid, shall we? And thank you. And there was a third guy around here somewhere. There he is. Okay, awesome. So now I've collected almost everything that I want to from this update. I definitely haven't looked at all of the new content, but there's one more thing that I want to look for. And what we are looking for is a shipwreck like this one right here. And that is because some of the new 1.17 loot that you can't get anywhere else generates in these shipwreck chests. So I'm hoping to find moss around here somewhere in one of the shipwrecks nearby. Ooh, there we go. We found the moss block we were looking for. The rest of the stuff I don't care about. Let's get back to, I think Kyoshi Island's the closest, and we'll do a little bit of experimenting there. Alright, so over here we have our loot from today's adventures, and we got a whole bunch of ore blocks from our first little bit of exploration looking for the new copper ore and finding all of the deep slate, and we got the calcite and all of the amethyst blocks from finding our amethyst block. And then after that I wanted to have a look at the water mobs of the update, and I definitely needed to find moss, because moss is the first thing that I want to experiment with. Let me find a spot to put it down. Okay, up here we put the moss block down in between with all the other grass, and first of all, it looks so great mixed in with this grass texture. And now if we grab bone meal and bone meal this, it will spread all of the moss onto other blocks, and we can come back with, here, let me grab, and I grabbed my hoe because hoes are able to insta-mine this moss really easily, even just, whoops, to the point of iron being able to insta-mine it, and I think that's really cool. It really opens up the world of maybe mining out a big chunk with, you know, lesser tools earlier in the game. You could use moss to change everything into moss and then work your way down. That's one of the really cool things I like about it, but I also have to love that you get moss carpet, which is kind of just like a green carpet, but it's gonna mix in so much better with the grass than before. Oh, that already looks so much better. Let's see if we can change a few of these. Oh, that's such a nice texture. I like this block a lot. And then the one thing that we definitely cannot forget about is the azalea trees, which are going to be a great little feature to have as a little plant on the side of my paths now. Yeah, I definitely see this as a nice addition to this Kyoshi Island area. I'm pretty happy with the moss part of this update, that is for sure. And I am very happy with what Mojang did with the ores in this update. The addition of copper is something that the Minecraft community has been asking for a long time, and being able to fortune your iron and gold ores now has made it so that players don't need to create iron and gold farms for their worlds if they really don't want to. Like from those two, I got 5 gold and 6 iron. That just proves that you really don't need iron farms anymore. If one piece of iron gives you 3 iron ore, that is going to be so great, and it actually makes going mining a little bit more fun and a little bit more feasible in a Minecraft world. I think that is really cool. But with that being said, we're starting to run low on time for this episode, and there's a ton more stuff in the 1.17 update I want to explore, and we'll have to have a look at it in future episodes in the Let's Play. But in the next Let's Play episode, I'm planning to get back to working on some projects and maybe starting some new ones. So if you've made it this far in the video, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment and let me know what's your favorite 1.17 feature, and press that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Water Tribe out.